Change your habitual patterns. Change your habitual patterns. To bring out this lesson on habits, there's a story I like giving of a man who walked down the street on a sidewalk. Unfortunately, he fell in a manhole. He didn't know that there was a manhole. It was not his fault. But he still struggled to get out there. On the second day, he walked down the same street along the same sidewalk. And he fell again the second time in the same hole. He pretended it was not there. I can imagine he was even closing his eyes. You know, when you pretend there's no HIV, HIV doesn't care. You can close your eyes, but it's still there. If you pretend issues and try to bury your head beneath the sand, your issues don't leave you. They don't leave you. You know, there are people who go drinking to pretend that the problems are not there. You only pretend for 2 hours. Then you wake up and meet them right there. Day number 3, same street, same sidewalk. This time round, he fell again. His eyes were opened. He realized it has become a habit. Day number 4, same street, same sidewalk. This time round, he walked around the manhole. His eyes had opened. He was not a victim. Day number 5, he took a different street altogether. Some people take the same street for a lifetime, and they wonder why things are not changing. Explain to me, how do you accidentally get pregnant the 6th time? Oh, I didn't say that, did I? Sorry. You know, reflection turns experience into insight. What are habits? Those unthinking, automatic choices that we make each day. All habits, no matter how complex they are, all habits are malleable. The most addicted alcoholic can become sober. The most gluttonous person who wrestles in a single sitting 2 chicken can become moderate. The cursing tongue can be the blessing tongue. The loose tongue can be tamed. The hot-tempered can be controlled. The promiscuous can be chaste and morally upright. The most dysfunctional families that fight every now and then can transform themselves. All of us have had some habits we try to drop and we are unable. And some habits we try to acquire and we drop them along the way. And the primary reason why we are unable to deal with our habits is not lack of determination. It's not even lack of willpower. For most of us, there's a strong desire within us to overcome alcoholism, to overcome sexual promiscuity, to overcome overweight, to overcome fighting as a marriage. No one wants to live in a hostile marriage. There's a desire within most of us. Even those who have short tempers, if you talk to them, deep down their heart they don't like it. There's a strong desire to overcome it. So where do we drop the ball? The challenge is because most of us do not really understand how habits work. All habits are cyclic. It's a habitual loop. A trigger, a routine, a reward. A trigger, a routine, a reward. Something triggers you into the habit. You repeat it again, it becomes a routine. You get a certain satisfaction, a certain pleasure that is deceptive and misleading. It's a reward. And it makes you to repeat the habit again. And we need to interrupt this habitual loop. So let me suggest some 3 simple steps, practical steps, to break undesired habitual patterns for us to have a fresh beginning in 2018. Step number 1. Identify your trigger. What fits into your habit? There could be many triggers, but the overwhelming majority of people, the primary trigger to any undesired habit are the people around us. Scripture teaches, do not be deceived, bad company corrupts good morals. 1 Corinthians 15:32. The primary trigger to all bad habits, whether it's eating junk, whether it's having a side plan outside your marriage, whether it's drug and substance abuse or alcoholism, the primary trigger is the company you keep. I want to suggest this. Usher a new season in 2018. You will never perform in a manner that is inconsistent with your level of association. Your friends form you and you form your friends. There are some friends God has brought your life for a season, and the season could be over. You are either growing together or dying together. You are either floating together or sinking together. Even your current income is an average of your 3 best friends. That's why you know the restaurants to avoid. Because you are at the same level. You need to interrupt this kind of a comfort. Learn when somebody's role in your life is over and let it go. Do not over-insist. Their role is over, period. That doesn't mean they are bad people. They are precious people in the sight of God. They are valuable people to their families. They may no longer be adding value to you. If you are not adding value to one another, please let it go. But there could be another trigger to promiscuity. If you're exposing yourself to explicit materials, magazines, videos. Another trigger to eating unhealthy, besides the people you hook up with, is it the place you pass by? And these days we have KFC driveway, which has not made things any better for you. What is this that triggers you to do what you don't want to do? Is it possible one of the triggers to alcoholism is because you're stressed more than you would care to admit, either at home or in the marketplace, or both, and you're trying to look for solace? Step number 2, substitute the undesired habit with a desired habit. Substitute the undesired habit with a desired habit. I really need you to follow this point, because this may liberate some of you for a lifetime. You see, in your high school algebra, you are taught substitution and elimination methods. Elimination methods exist only in pure mathematics. And my first training is in mathematics. In real life, we eliminate through substitution. What that means is this. If you try to avoid or to resist a certain habit, it persists. Whatever you resist persists. The way to overcome that habit is to replace it with another habit. Rather than going cold turkey on that habit you don't desire, replace it tonight. Let me make it practical for you. If the most vulnerable day in your drinking is Friday night, enroll for piano class. Enroll for a Spanish class. Guess what? If you decide you're not going to join your drinking buddies on Friday night, and you start watching TV at home, one phone call will make you very vulnerable. Do you agree with me? But if you told them, I'm doing a certain class, I'm doing some accounts, they are likely to respect that. But they don't respect idleness. Correct? They're likely to, oh, this guy is doing some class. They're likely to respect that. Then, after your piano class, 9 o'clock, you're likely to join them for late night drink. So how do you avoid that? Join the guys who go for Kalura walk Saturday morning at 5. They walk for 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers. Now, since you know you have to wake up by 5 in the morning on Saturday, you're not going to join those guys after the class. So unless you plan what is going to happen Saturday morning, you're likely to leave the class and join them, which will be worse off. On Sunday morning, make sure you attend the first morning service. The third service is for drunks. Sorry, that's a joke. Forgive me. I was just checking whether you're alert. But on a serious note, enroll for the morning service. It will force you to be cautious about your Saturday evening. What am I saying? If you focus on your drunkenness, you'll never overcome it. Substitute with a desired behavior. Let's come to extramarital affairs. I'll give you a formula that will deliver 100% result. I have no guess. This one works 100% of the time. The very, very simple step, number one, and this works all the time. This is for men only. Girls, don't listen to this. This is for men only. The next time a girl asks you for your phone number, give her your wife's phone number. Now, let me tell you something. The first call will be the last call. It works. You know, it sounds like a joke, but that's what exactly I do. And those who are close to me know that. Even since one members who are here, among the ladies who are here, they know if I've ever given anyone an appointment, they either called my PA or they called my mercy. That's just a fact. And if there is anyone who can prove me otherwise, I'll say the same way Jesus said in public, stand up and embarrass me now. You just purpose to do it that way. The second thing you do to deal with the affairs, make sure you go for outing with your wife. This may be hard if you have not done it for long. So let me make it practical for you. Look for 2 or 3 couples that you can hang out with. Because your desire was to talk to another woman, talk to your friend's wife. Look. Look here. You can't convince me. You have gone out as 4 couples, and you have 4 women, and you can't see what you're looking for in life. You can't convince me. You must be very sick. So if you can trick yourself by joining up as family friends and be going out together and deliberately for the first few weeks talk with the other person. Eventually you'll be able to talk to yours. You must come up with a way to stop a habit by replacing it. I'm 2 months shy, 15 years of marriage. And I can tell you without blinking an eye, my outings have been with my Mercy, who is together with me. And this is the reason she resigned from being the corporate trainer in Safaricom to join me when we started doing a lot of international missions. We go everywhere together. And the last time I checked any woman on this planet, I realized she has whatever you have. Can we be honest?
Yes.
Come to the issue of eating. The biggest challenge with overweight is because you live with people who convince you you have no problem, it's a gene you inherited from your grandfather. Let me just tell you the truth, because they won't tell you. The problem is not your grandfather's gene. The problem is your eating habits and lack of exercise. Period. I want you to walk to Kibera or Madare Valley and show me one person who is overweight. Show me one. And the primary reason is some of them don't take lunch, most of them don't take lunch, and they walk for a long distance to work in industrial area. Why are these genes only found in Kileleshwa and Lavington? Why? Think about it. It has to do with diet and exercise. Period. So how do you overcome it? First, change the people you hang out with who encourage you to go for fast foods. Get organized so that you prepare a proper meal. Get the organizer. Because one of the reasons you go for fast foods is because of being disorganized. I know a lot of people eat junk for one reason. They are so busy, they want to eat in 2 minutes. Pick the organizer. Organize your lunch hour. Take a good 1 hour. And connect with yourself. Or replace the habit by going for a health club during lunch hour. You will not hook up with people who are conscious about health and not change. I guarantee you. I'm conscious about it. As I told you, today alone, I was able, though I was so tired, I was here speaking last night, but I was still able to do my 30 minutes today, here in this health club right here. And for 2 weeks, this week and next week, I'm on a no-wheat diet. I would assume after that. And every so often, I have to come up with a way to ensure I do not add cholesterol and affect my breathing capacity, which is so essential for my career. You've got to purpose. Don't think you're the only one with nice birds for tasting junk. We all can. We choose not to. I know after this, they will go to encourage you again, so it's good you've heard the truth, and this truth will set you free. Step number 3. Repeat desired patterns. Repeat desired patterns. Repetition is the mother of all learning. We are creatures of habit and creators of habits. So I challenge you. Examine the habit that you don't like. Check the payoffs and replace the payoffs with higher, better dividends. For instance, if I have been having extramarital affairs and I know nobody tells you these things elsewhere, and I now decide to reform from 2018 and have a different life altogether, what are the higher, better dividends? I'll spend more time with my children doing homework. I'll raise a better generation after me, because I now realize if I invest in my children, I don't have to invest for my children. I'll have better time with my wife, and I'll have better time in the working place, because perhaps these are the affairs I was having were distracting me from my key KPIs. Overcoming a habit that you never thought you can overcome will give you indescribable peace and boost your confidence to a manner and a degree you never thought possible. So trick yourself to win. Winning is not about personality types. It's about what you do on a daily basis. You overcome your behaviors by changing your daily routine. Winning is about daily practices, daily habits. Your take home tonight, daily.